again!
It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both
Hi,
teams.
you're watching Firstpost with me, Rupha Ramani. Let's get the show started. Right, on the show today, how has a team that was the butt of all jokes, whose fans were constantly trolled for their never-ending belief, turned things around now? Sure, they are defending champions, but the Royal Challengers Bengaluru are proving that the winning DNA has been cultivated from the top. Is this the most sorted team and franchise in the IPL this edition? FIFA has another headache to deal with, the broadcast rights in India. The World Cup is not too far away, but the governing body is unable to get a broadcaster to relay the matches here. Why is India giving FIFA the cold shoulder? And Ghana seems to be grappling with more than just a slump in form of their football. A bus carrying their footballers travelling from a league game was attacked, resulting in the death of a promising athlete. And this incident has set alarm bells through the sporting world. But first, let's take a look at the headlines. Starting with cricket and the Indian Premier League, Chennai beat Kolkata by 32 runs to register their second consecutive win. Sanju Samson's 48 guided the five-time champions to 192. In reply, Noor Ahmed picked up 3 wickets to restrict Kolkata to 160. Kolkata are winless in their 5 matches so far. On to football and the Champions League. Atletico Madrid have entered the semi-finals for the first time in 9 years. Madrid beat Spanish rivals Barcelona 3-2 on an aggregate score. Lamine Yamal led Barcelona's charge but failed to take them over the line. Ademola Lookman's goal proved to be decisive. Paris Saint-Germain also joined Atletico in the last 4. The defending champions beat Liverpool 4-0 on aggregate. Over in tennis, number 1 seed Alexander Zverev escaped a scare in the Munich Open round of 32 match. Unseeded Miomir Kecmanovic made Zverev work for the win. The Serb won the second set and even took the final to a tiebreaker. Zverev held his nerves to win the clash 6-3, 3-6, 7-6. On to chess, Jawahir Sindorov clinched the FIDE candidates tournament after staying unbeaten throughout the tournament. The Uzbek star has become the challenger for the next edition of the World Championship. The 20-year-old will face Indian Grandmaster Gukesh Domaraju in the youngest ever battle for top honours. And summing it up with badminton, double Olympic gold medalist Victor Axelsen has retired from professional sport. The 32-year-old says his back injury from last year is what made it difficult for him to train this time. Axelsen has spent 100 consecutive weeks as world number 1, and in addition to double Olympic gold, he's also won the World Championship title twice. The one franchise in the IPL that seems to have their ducks all lined up is Royal Challengers Bengaluru. The defending champions have been calmly raking in the points. They've had just the one loss so far, but it's not about the wins as much as it is about their demeanour. They've just about kept pace with the league so far and don't seem all too flustered. Are they surprisingly the most sorted team in this edition? And why do I believe so? Let's dive right in. If you had to pick the most mismanaged team, the team that always flattered to deceive, the team that was too flashy for its own good, the franchise that got their auction strategy wrong more than times than they got it right, then you'll quite obviously pick Bengaluru. Now, while they've boasted of the biggest players to have walked their dressing rooms, the biggest T20 stars to be in their ranks, the loudest fans cheering them on, RCB has got more things wrong than right in the history of the IPL. But surprise, surprise, they seem to be on the ball this year in 2026. A team that is not only looking comfortable with their unit and their team combination, but one that is looking ruthless as a cricketing side. And a team that wears the tag of defending champions very, very well. So what's worked for them suddenly? I'll get right to it. One, they have a strong Indian core, a confident leader, and we'll come to him in just a bit. A superstar in Virat Kohli who doesn't intervene as much as he goes along for the ride. Experienced and understated performers in Krunal Pandya and Bhuvneshwar Kumar, and other fiery youngsters in Jitesh and Devdutt Padikkal. So overall, it's solid home talent that's propping this team up. And all of this is under the captaincy of a young Rajat Patidar, who's so sure about himself as a batter and a skipper that it's only been a massive plus for this franchise.
Rajat Patidar has been a nightmare for bowlers. He's been the biggest positive in their batting lineup, and his approach is what really separates RCB from the oppositions.
Remember how much Bengaluru has struggled in the past thanks to their famed bowling lineup that has always under-delivered. That's the second thing that they have stepped up in. And in the absence of someone like Yash Dayal, who was rightly kept away to keep the focus on the game, and it's not dented their strategy. RCB has thrived. And here's the best part about it all. It's because they have stalwarts who know their roles perfectly well and are taking care of the fabric of the side, of what RCB DNA truly is. And that brings me to the third point. Their former captain Virat Kohli, who has enjoyed being in the back seat now and just letting his bat do all the talking. He's taking it all in his stride and he's enjoying his cricket, being led by someone like Rajat Patidar. And the other, of course, is a player who has so very easily slipped into the role of a mentor and coach from that of a player. Dinesh Karthik's smarts have been noticeable and his contributions may not be spelled out too often here, but it is telling. You can see how the team has transformed under his leadership, in the way they've bonded together, in the way they execute plans on the field and they carry themselves.
It is nice to work with DK. He is an experienced player in these conditions. I have been in the IPL for a few years, and with that kind of preparation, you don't put pressure on yourself to perform.
It's clearly a team that has probably just realized how cool it is to win and to keep winning at that. And they've done that tremendously well. The reason this journey is worth noting is because they have made a dramatic U-turn in their own fortunes and their cricketing style. They've somehow rewritten most of their flaws that travelled with them through the years as baggage to be passed on, and they've done that very, very steadily. And now they need to do something that is more difficult and very few teams think of even achieving. It's to defend a title they won for the first time last year. The Football World Cup is less than 2 months away, but a major market seems to be slipping away. And not because of lack of interest, but because of a business deadlock. FIFA is struggling to sell broadcast rights in India, and this isn't just a small hiccup. This is a red flag for world football. Because if there's one market FIFA cannot afford to lose, it is India. Indian football may still be work in progress, but the love for the sport is unquestionable. From packed cafes turning during big matches to midnight screens lighting up homes, India shows up for football no matter where it is. Which is why what's happening right now is a little shocking. FIFA has failed to find a broadcaster for the 2026 World Cup. This is even after a massive price cut, a 65% drop, and still there have been no takers with less than 2 months now to go for this tournament. So what's the problem? The most blatant one is timing. This World Cup is hosted in North America, and that means nightmare hours for India. The matches will take place between midnight and early morning India time, which includes some of the top clashes and a majority of the tournament itself. So that changes everything, because for broadcasters, this isn't just about viewers. It's about advertising. Prime time is where the money is, and this is exactly the opposite. The low viewership windows, which makes it a high risk but a low return project, which is why networks are hesitant. Now compare this to what cricket did under similar circumstances. When the T20 World Cup was held in the US, it was in 2024, the ICC made sure matches were scheduled for Indian prime time because India drives cricket economics. But in football, that kind of flexibility doesn't exist, understandably. You cannot reschedule a global tournament just for one market, especially when that market isn't even playing. And that's the harsh reality. India is a massive audience, but not a sporting powerhouse in football. But here's where FIFA needs to be a little careful. Because this World Cup isn't just another event. This one, it is a little emotional. It has the likes of Lionel Messi, Ronaldo, for whom it could be the very last World Cup. These are two icons, two names that have cult-like following in India. And we've seen it firsthand when Lionel Messi came to India. You saw the chaos, you saw the fanfare that followed him, especially when he went to different cities. The country erupted. Fans, of course, celebrities, politicians, every possible stakeholder turned up. It was a spectacle worth being a part of and worth noticing as well. When Ronaldo was expected to arrive a little earlier, that was also on schedule. The anticipation was off the charts for that as well. And that is how disappointed everyone was. All fans turned out to be when the Portuguese star did not travel with Al Nassr for the Goa FC Champions League 2 clash. So for India, this World Cup is personal, even without the national team being a part of it. That is what FIFA realizes, which is why they are going to be persistent. Reports suggest FIFA officials will visit India later this week, trying one last push to strike a deal. Indian broadcasters have countered with an offer between $15 to $20 million, less than half of FIFA's revised price. But with a twist, they want a package deal, including rights for the 2030 World Cup. But will FIFA agree? That's the big question. Because this isn't just about one tournament here. This is about positioning in the global market. It's about relevance. It's about holding on to a market. And India may not be a football giant today, but it is a sleeping commercial superpower. And losing it, even if temporarily so, could cost FIFA big. The fall of Ghanaian football is no longer just about results. It's no longer just about trophies or a team losing its winning DNA. This is far more serious. This is about safety and fear. Ghanaian footballer Dominic Frimpong was killed after armed robbers opened fire on a team bus. A bus carrying players, coaches, staff, people who were just returning home from a football game. What's worrying is that it is a repeated occurrence in the country. Our next report brings you the details.
A routine journey back home turned into a nightmare for a football team in Ghana. Berigum Chelsea were travelling back home after a Ghana Premier League clash. And somewhere along that 270-kilometer journey, their bus was ambushed. According to authorities, 6 armed men opened fire on the team bus. 30 people on board, that included players and officials, were all caught in the line of fire. And in that chaos, a life was lost. Dominic Frimpong, a rising sensation in the country, was killed. And here is the worrying part. This is not just a one-off tragedy. There's a pattern involving footballers. Clubs across Ghana have faced similar horrors. Some of the top teams in the country have reported similar attacks, all facing similar fears. But it has never resulted in death. This is why the question is louder than ever. Is it even safe to play football in Ghana? Because this is no longer just about the competition. For both fans and players, it's about getting back home alive. And this comes at a time when Ghana football is already struggling. They did not feature at the AFCON competition earlier this year. A rare first since 2004. This is the same nation that once dominated this event. A team that won Africa Cup of Nations 4 times, finished as runners-up 5 times. Be it in 1992, 2006 or 2010, Ghana paved the way for rest of the African nations, and now it is just a shadow of its former self. The decline has been steep. Sure, they qualified for the 2026 World Cup, but their recent results have dropped. Consistency has vanished, and now even the security has collapsed. This is where the crisis runs deep. Footballers are not just athletes, they are workers representing their clubs, their families, their dreams. So when they step on that bus, they should be thinking about the next game, not whether they'll survive the journey. Dominic Frimpong's death cannot be just another headline. It has to be a turning point. A moment that tells Ghana that the decline isn't just restricted to the football pitch, but goes beyond it too.
Time for last serve. History has just been made in European football. The first female manager in Europe's top 5 leagues, Mary-Louise Eta, has officially taken charge on the pitch. She led her first full training session, working closely with the squad and immediately stamping her presence. It's a powerful moment for representation in football, and it's definitely been a difficult time for her, having faced online hate since being instated. From guiding youth teams in Germany to now breaking one of the biggest barriers in club football, Eta is redefining the sport itself. All I can say is more power to Eta, and here's hoping she opens doors to many more like her. That wraps it up here. Stay tuned for more. Bye-bye.